Okay, we got something a little bit spicy, a little bit local. This is Bobby Rossadillo for CUNA. He ran for mayor most recently, and I believe he's the president of the CUNA Chamber of Commerce. Anyway, I'm going to just read his post. I don't have any information about the backstory, but it's good enough as it is. So he states, I've noticed a trend on Facebook, one that I have addressed in the past, and it is disconcerting to me now, even more so than in the past. We live in a small community, and our local businesses are vital to the town in many ways, the culture, economy, and dining, entertainment, shopping for our citizens. When you spend $100 at a local business, roughly $73 of that stays here in CUNA compared to spending the same $100 at large non-locally owned companies, where only $43 stays in town. I mention this because when people take to Facebook to blast a local business as the first line of voicing displeasure, it has the potential to hurt the business, its reputation, our local economy, and most importantly, the workers who rely on that business for a salary to support their families. I understand that we may not all agree with or like one another, but when it comes to businesses, you have the power to show whether you like them or not by choosing to go or not shop or visit their establishments. If you have a disagreement, your first action should be to speak with someone in management or ownership to allow them the opportunity to correct the issues and make things right for the customer. Rallying the mob on Facebook is not even close to a constructive manner of fixing issues that you may not like about a specific business. That being said, I want to address the most recent posts regarding the pork belly and the owners of Big Mike's, Mike and Marisol Larson. When the posts were brought to my attention, I reached out to Mike and Chef Wally from the pork belly to personally sit down with them to find out the truth regarding the situation, because I don't feel right sitting back while other businesses are being attacked on Facebook. For those who may not have seen the post, essentially people were stating that there was a hostile takeover of the pork belly by Big Mike, and that they have been running the restaurant as a dictatorship ever since. Additionally, sorry. Regarding those allegations. Additionally, there were people who jumped in with more negative posts in the comments. When I reached out to Mike, I was able to make time to sit down separately with him, Chef Wally, and Kelby, the current manager at the Pork Belly, to discuss the situation and what transpired to trigger such disappointing discussions on CUNA Must Know. I was able to get their versions of the story, and I was shown accounting records, emails, and other documents verifying their stories. I want to summarize what I learned here. Please keep in mind that there are still aspects of business that do not need to be public knowledge, so I'm going to withhold names and amounts of money for the privacy of those involved. To make a long story shorter, Mike and Marisol had entered into a partnership with another party with the intention to open the Pork Belly in its current location. Under the partnership agreement, which I was able to review in full, Mike and Marisol were to be silent partners, providing funding to equip the restaurant with the necessary machinery to be functional, while the other part was responsible for daily operation and the tasks and responsibilities that came with running the restaurant. Recently, it was discovered by another employee that there were discrepancies in accounting that were concerning. After bringing this up to Mike directly and doing research on the situation, it was discovered that the second party in the partnership had been inappropriately using company money in several ways, including taking payments, withdrawing cash, paying personal mortgage payments, using a company credit card for personal items, purchasing furniture for personal use, paying for the care of a family member in an assisted living home, and paying to purchase a truck in their personal name and making payments for this truck from the company account. The total amount that was negligently/criminally misappropriated by this individual was 6 digits in total amount over 2 to 2.5 years. These are some of the circumstances that led to the termination of the second party's portion of the partnership as permitted per the formal partnership agreement that was signed by both parties. Now, I think it's important to note that I ate breakfast at the Pork Belly the same morning, and my service was fantastic, and the staff who were working all seemed very positive and happy, of course, with new management. There are changes that took place, as is the case here, but good management sets boundaries and rules in place for the good of the workers, customers, and the businesses. While there may be a small handful of employees who have left since the transition, from the conversations I had, it seems that it was for the better and that the remaining employees who stayed are very happy with the new environment. Moving forward, I would ask the community to seek facts if you want to know more rather than joining the mob and potentially doing harm to those who work for local businesses. In this case, the two restaurants that Mike and Marisol own employ approximately 50 people here in CUNA. We need to support our community, and that doesn't always mean that we are happy. But when we have concerns, taking a constructive approach to remedy the matter is much more beneficial than trashing people on the internet. Get out and visit local businesses, get to know their owners and employees. You may be surprised to learn that many of the local business owners are much more involved in giving to the community than you may think, and they often do it without seeking recognition. I've taken it upon myself to research and write this message because I believe that there are many great individuals who make up CUNA. Unfortunately, they get drowned out by the Facebook algorithms, which favor the gossip and drama created by a keyboard mob mentality. So yeah, the Facebook algorithms usually involves with engagements, and depending on how you sort, these various Facebook groups. Let's see, alleging criminal actions. Um, it is considered. He's really sticking his neck out here because um, alleging criminal action publicly could be considered uh, not slander or libel if it's not true. Now, in order for the other partner, in order to file that suit, they would need to go through discovery um, and demonstrate that all of this information is not true, based off of the level of details in which, I mean, this is just a sloppy job of they call commingling personal funds. So if you have a business bank account, you definitely don't want to mix in personal expenses. You usually want to do a partnership dividend or a dispersal of whatever the proceeds are. Usually you can't do that without an agreement. Um, I mean, in terms of accounting regarding my businesses, if there are any sort of partnerships, you have full disclosures, quarterly reports, actually even monthly reports of all of the bank financial statements. I will review the bank statements to see. I mean, this is pretty crazy. These kind of personal expenses being taken out directly. Let's see what else. Now, it's nice that they had it within their formal partnership agreement regarding this termination. Usually, you have to go through legal action on that. So it's great that they were able to get that, maintain the machinery, which was the primary investment of Big Mike. And I wish them all the best of luck. And I fully agree. To the extent it's possible, hiring local. Which, by the way, I am looking for some help on my farm, which is by the corn maze. You'll probably see my posts in the CUNA Must Know. I'm not going to explain it here because this video will be always on forever. But generally, I like to hire those locally within CUNA, within like 15-minute drive to my farm. So anyway, that's about it. Have a good one, and CUNA first. All right, bye-bye.